Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Kenyan Week That Was, and I am elated. Today is one of those awkward days that you're able to reel in something that you never saw coming, but you've caught a big fish. I don't know whether it's big fish or big whale. Someone I've known for many years. We've grown up together. I have the pleasure of calling him my friend and my brother. This gentleman, we've gone a long way back. When we were little boys, in our little teens, when heartbreak was heartbreak. But tattoos in those days were the real nganyas. Now, we are old men, graying out. Some of us perhaps using dye. But it is an honor to have the great, and he's an established musician. I didn't even get to say that part because he has dropped hits that have shaped and changed our generation. None other than the great Duncan Atalaku. Welcome on board, my guy, and karibu sana bwana. Yeah, we should have some. What are those called? Let me see whether we should have an applause somewhere.
Applause must be there.
Applause must be here.
Must be there. I'm so happy to be here, man. So happy to be here, man. And it's grateful. I've been following this channel for a few weeks here. Let me tell you, about a week or two. I've been following this channel, and I love the fact that you're passionate about, where you come from. You're passionate about your home, and you're passionate about the politics that are governing these countries, especially East Africa. And I like taking it back to the grassroots because I know there's someone who's going to be watching this in 5-10 years from now, and they'll be like, aha, so this is where it came from, because you're telling the stories.
Yeah, and you see, that's the beautiful part. I sat back and I realized, guys, we have no other Kenya. No matter how hard we want to, no matter how far you travel out of this world, home, Kenya ni home.
That's right.
And if you cannot build home, where else do you build? If you cannot find that place that you can build and strengthen and, change how things work, where else do you go? Because you can go and do all these great and mighty things everywhere else in the world. Yeah. But where you'll be brought back is home. And the future. And you see, I always say, and I keep telling people who've traveled out, yes, you might have gone out, but you still have people in your farm who are in Kenya.
That's right. That's right.
It's easy to abandon Kenya as a plausible idea when you're out there, but you have people who every day desire, demand, and they go through the ringer of what is happening. So if we don't stand up and speak about what is happening, my guy,
it's crazy. And we're in a season we're in a very funny season. If at all you are you're a millennial, the Gen Zs are obviously very angry. But I'm thinking if you are of our age and politics does not anger you every day when you watch it in the news, then you have a problem. It has to be personal. Now it is personal. It's no longer moving with the crowd.
Yeah, because, Dunco, the one thing that, first of all, asks me completely, and maybe that's the reason why I should give you the backstory of why I even started the channel, is because I sat down and I realized we as the millennials, we as the, quote unquote, the middle class, we are the problem. Because we are the ones that do not get involved. The Gen Zs came out, they did it, but they're not the ones controlling whatever economical value that is going on in Kenya. So they're not the target audience. And the guys who decide that, then they can go and vote. As we're the ones who decide, me bado niko na ukikuyu yangu. If it's not from our tribe, it is us who are driving tribalism. Gen Zs don't know that part. They don't understand it. But for us, so ingrained because we are the weird generation that grew up seeing Moi and Tawala Kenya. Then we saw technology come in. We had parents who continuously reminded us, na doka dehere kafira.
Yes, that's
it was a common household thing that was said without thought and plan. But it shaped our life. And now we are at the precipice that we need to start speaking out, because if we don't speak out and join in with the Gen Zs, then guess what happens?
We are actually exactly. It becomes a sinusoidal effect, something that will always be cyclic in nature. We go back, our children grow up, and that's the same thing. And even as they're trying to push the agenda, the tribalism agenda, the funny thing is that these don't play that. Them, they don't even worry about that. But for
They
us,
don't.
yes, for us now, we are now slowly unlearning and putting down all those facades that were shaped, like you say, by our parents, that was said. So, niedoka deherebo jarubo usinilete nini, usinilete mkisi, and that's how it has been.
And it was said so lightly. I
Yeah.
remember when it was being said in my house. It
Yeah.
wasn't one of those words that in an aspect of anger. No, it was in the normal conversations. So it became the common thing that we discuss. And now, later on in life, is when you realize some of these things actually became part of your life. And how you make some decisions, their subconscious is already giving you that governing of, and ODM ni party ya Wajaka.
Exactly.
So that's where side ingine.
Yes.
And you see, I see it in most of these podcasts. And I like when millennials say, but I'm different. I don't have tribal bias. And I say, there's no millennial in Kenya that does not have tribal bias, because all of us were inculcated into the tribal cocoon before we even knew.
We didn't even know.
Our toys now don't understand language. They don't understand tribes because they don't see it.
They can't even speak the languages themselves to save themselves. Yeah.
To save them. But us, in our day and age when we grew up, my guy.
Yeah. That's how
all of us knew. All of us knew which tribe, as in we knew that how in our rounder, that how had Akina Omosh and their Luos. This one had Akina so and so and their Kisses. So and so. But our kids don't know that part. They know Akina Omosh, and that's the end.
Yes.
And you see now, when it comes to how we look at politics, we as the millennials, inevitably we have these glasses that are tribal. So lakini wanaongea mbaya, hatupendi Gachagua, lakini mbona wanapiga bwana?
We have that.
And you see, it's the sad part because si wetu.
Yeah, si wetu by the way.
Asi ukiangalia difference ya Gachagua na Ruto when it comes matters corruption, iko wapi?
Hakuna difference.
Hakuna difference.
And that's what I'm saying, that it has now come to a point where it's no longer at a cluster kind of vibe. It is a must you unlearn, and we are slowly unlearning. Thanks to the Gen Zs and this fight, we are slowly unlearning that fact. But sadly, even though we have that kind of a lens that really shaped every part of our lives, whether social lives, whether it's a career life, etc., we are being forced to learn right now. And that's crazy, but it's a good thing, a good space to be at, because unlearning always opens up your mind to something new. And now we are seeing people who are not being weighed whatsoever. They're like, you play that race card, we don't care. We just want out, and we're going to die making sure you are out.
Because to even get us started now, let's first of all visit our neighboring country, Tanzania.
Yes.
I feel I have never, I never thought that East Africa will produce the first female dictator in Africa.
Yeah. Now, you're even jumping the gun. Don't even say first female dictator. Say the first female president. Because for us, you are like, that's a move in the right direction. That's progress. But now, the person who is supposed to be now shaping this for other countries, so that they can also think, by the way, having a woman at the helm does not mean that it's a bad thing, now has actually proven there were beberus why we shouldn't.
It made me think. It made me think the most awkward thoughts. Samia, when she came into power, she was, so small in her personality. She wasn't extravagant or overt in how she did her things. And we were, and she was given the name Mama Samia.
Mama Samia.
Now I juxtapose that shit with the female president that would have gotten if Baba was the one in power. And unfortunately, he was called by the Lord. And we have Martha Karua, who by all means is a general.
Yes.
Imagine, it's insane. It now gives us fear that if
Jessica?
the soft ones, as in Mama Samia was soft, motherly, she was everything that you thought was not going to be someone who will stick to such levels or drop to such levels. Then all of a sudden, she starts doing some things you're wondering, hey, who is this person?
Then she has made, and you can imagine the strides that Tanzania had made with this move from Magufuli, whether they had their own issues, but they had made so many strides towards development and the future metro city into getting places where Kenya is, and even beyond, and overtake us to go to Rwanda, etc. Right now, it's just giving season finale energy. You can imagine how backward they are. Yeah, you look at the news and you're like, which country are we praying for today? Like, what's happening? They're, yeah.
That's the thing that gets me all worked up, is because Tanzania was making such great strides. Look at their airport. They had an electric tram. They're doing those things that Kenyans keep asking for, and they were doing them properly. The only place that they were, for the lack of a better word, destroying, they didn't have the quote-unquote democracy, which for me is one of the, even if you have such technology and such improvements, without the space of democracy where you can be able to call out a president, or where a president can, you can't run against yourself, my guy. It's impossible. It's impossible. And this woman, and she didn't need to do it.
Which era are you trying to do that? There's an era that would have worked. We're talking about the Kenyatta era, the 1980s, you could have tried this because we didn't have such. But in this day and age, there is no country where you can get 97% of the votes. Cap.
No, it's impossible. That's cap. Because number one, no, you cannot find, currently as we speak, you cannot find 10 people that like you.
True.
10 people. You can't find 10 people that completely like you. How is it that you're getting 97% of an election? As in, what are they looking at?
And then as if that's not enough. You get 98. Okay, let's just say we are fools and we were born today. We cannot think. So we believe we got 97% of the votes. So this 97% of the voters, they could not witness your swearing in. You had to hide. Because if you are that famous, that means you can even walk the streets without bodyguards, my guy. People like you.
You are the sweet old lady that everyone wants to have as their granny.
Imagine.
But you go and hide in a garrison, in a military, in an army base.
Yes.
And you want to claim that 98% of your voters loved you so much.
Yes.
And then you see, for me, it was how they did it. Even the guys who are committing the forgery of the papers, they were videoing themselves. Imagine.
That's right. Someone is shooting. And they're marking the ballot papers while still in the booklets. So this go back to, which election was that? Do you know that a few elections back, the one I think, was it not before Uhuru, the Kibaki one?
The 2007 or
the first term, 2007.
2002.
2002, sorry. 2002.
Yeah.
How guys had tried rigging. Then what happened? The ballot boxes, guys were walking around Kariobangi. You pick a ballot box, and then you open. It has already marked. The booklet has been marked. Who?
I remember that story. It must have been 2002 because it was Moi trying to force in Uhuru Kenyatta. But people everywhere, that is the only vote I always say was legitimate in Kenya. People wanted change. People were just tired. So even if you tried and rigged this guy, as they were not cooperating. But it's the same thing. I'm wondering, Mama Samia couldn't have given a brief to these people, to have people and say, oh, my guys, please, tujaze hizi makaratasi before
na hekima na ustaarabu.
Na hekima na ustaarabu. Kabla ulete kwenye boksi, kuwa umevijaza na umevikata kwenye kitabu.
Ukavikunja.
Her own soldiers, foot soldiers, are recording themselves committing the atrocity.
Although I think, to some extent, most people are already tired of her. So what they are doing is, we will not refuse a job from her. We will not refuse handouts from her people.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do, the least I'm going to do, I'm going to document. I'm going to make sure.
That's
Yeah,
a good way of looking at it, because they sabotaged her then from inside. They decided, since Sasa, this woman, amekataa, and the only way to beat her is, maybe she had given them a brief, nataka 57, ama 59.
yes.
Wakaamua, 59 for who?
For who?
59 for who? For
Count
where?
those numbers, 97, 95.
97. Move 97. So now she's afraid. She doesn't know. She's already, they cannot uncount.
Yes. Yes.
It's a ballot box. It has to be counted. It has been counted. Imefika 97. Unashindwa sasa hawa.
How do you not research? Like, some things, we're in the era of even, AI. Like, you have to research. What is the most, like, organic votes, or what's the most? Then try and play hapo katikati. Hata shinda na kitu kama 57. You know what you're saying, 59.
Conservative 59.
59. You can say, okay, well, it sounds, but 97, she didn't even research. She was quick to, they were quick to announce and then swear her in. And right now, when all things are falling apart, that's when you're looking at it like, okay, how are we going to handle this? Because calling, everyone is coming, UN has said, their president refused to acknowledge her.
That's the beautiful part. And this is what the other thing that I realized, how powerful our 2010 constitution really is.
Yeah.
Because in Tanzania, the moment the IEBC announces that Mama Samia is Rais Mteule, is a wrap. There's no for, you cannot go to court, you cannot do anything.
The constitution, you cannot contest it.
You can't.
Oh my God.
Do you know how horrible that is? Imagine if that happened in Kenya, that you cannot contest.
So that means if at all, now that she has been sworn in, the Tanzanians are waiting for a natural disaster or intervention. Judiciary will not
come sooner. And that is why, Jana, when she was opening parliament and allowing the new MPs, she was confident she can be able to speak. And that is why the likes of, she's called Diamond Platinums, can be there. Because he can now spit at the guys, because what are you going to do? You can't take them to court. They've won. And I was reading somewhere that the rigging wasn't just on presidential level. CCM came back full force.
Like all of them. Their parliament is full of CCM.
Because CCM, it shouldn't be a parliament. It's now a parliamentary group meeting. It's not parliament anymore. That's how bad that.
So what happens to now the likes of Tundu Lissu, Chadema, Chama cha Demokrasia,
Unless they have a 2010 moment or 2005 moment where the country by itself rallies for constitutional change.
Yes, and that's what they were actually fighting for those.
Yeah, because that's what Tundu was saying. We need to be fair. Come on, as in just open up. Have such clauses. Because had they produced such clauses, it would be easy to go to court. Tundu would have gone to court and said, prove to me how this lady got 97%.
97.5.
When all the observers are saying there was the greatest voter apathy, that they were seeing 1 or 2 people per hour. Do you know a voter turnout? You were talking about 6 to 6. Those are 12 hours. 1 or 2 people per hour. My guy, we're talking about 24 guys. 24 chaps. In a constituency voter place. But now, you want to explain to me that now, you could have been able to cancel out this election. But now, because they cannot do it, because the constitution doesn't back it, wamekwama na mama. And she's not going anywhere. Jana alikuwa nawaita, wanangu na waomba msichome nchi.
Okay. Apple, on that very sensitive topic there, I say, sadly, that is a smart way of, of, of gaining, like people to, like, I know people don't want her. I'm trying to imagine if it was our guy wouldn't say wanangu.
Roger has already called us criminals,
So
treasoners.
if you ask me, her saying wanangu, it's actually the happy art team telling her now you need to go back to being a mother, because now people
Ah,
start saying, yeah, lakini unajua ni mama tu alifanya makosa,
na siye
anajaribu
mbaya, ni
hiyo
wale
mbaya.
wale walimzunguka. The nonsense that how we pacify people, because it's the same nonsense that I don't agree when,
Yeah.
when Kina Sakaja, for
Yeah.
instance, talk to us as the youth.
Yes.
Who are these youth that they are addressing? Oh, and they tell them the Kenya is for them and we are building. No, this youth want it today. There's no Kenya for youth and Kenya for old people. There's only Kenya.
It's only Kenya, yes.
So don't give us How is that a plan?
They are still using very old techniques, and this you saw with Akina KJ. If you have looked at KJ, on his campaign trail, he tries so much to connect with the people by speaking their language, trying to show them that tuko huko ground tuelewana sini kitu moja. But there's already a very huge disconnect between voters and the office bearers. There is a big gap that cannot be bridged. We know today, even you, if you came and decided you're going to now to be the MCA for Makadara, for Harabo, let's say, for example, the way I know you, what happens naturally is when you are elected into that office, the first thing is to sever all connection with the people on the ground. Because everyone will come claiming, hey, boss, so you have to change your phone number. We cannot you hire a PA. You get so your old number goes to a PA. Hello, this is the office of Anthony.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening. So this bridge is already too big. So what they are doing right now, they are using they are using looted money to buy this loyalty. Now, I'm like, so they're buying goons. Even the guys who surrounded when Gashago went to
Kiambu. No.
Was it
No.
Yeah, where he was heckled.
He was heckled.
Yeah, he was told Mambo on Twitter. All those guys now they're coming back online to say
He was in Kayole.
My life is in danger. Why? Because they are getting a small handout for them to yell. As in, there's such a big gap.
Let me ask, Duncan.
Yeah.
Is it a premise that we are seeing that once you become, when people get into power, they have to dumb down and talk at us as though we don't understand what is required for this country? Because I don't understand why you said KJ asks and talks to us as though we are young fellas, as though we are back in the 90s. No, my guy, when is your plan?
I do not know why the person who is addressing issues on the floor of parliament becomes different when he's on a lorry in Kayole. He thinks we are. The last time I had someone speak sense in a rage was the late Wamalwa kijana Wamalwa. As in, he would address people and say, "These are what we are talking about in parliament. This is what we are pushing. These are the reforms we are fighting for, and this is exactly." But nowadays, it's all about watu oye TB Sema whoa, and this is in no way to bash anyone, but why not talk to us as people who are learned?
Yeah, as in Kenya has a group, one of the highest literacy levels in East Africa and the Greater Africa. Why not come and just tell us, guys? I know I've driven down Buru and I've seen you guys have potholes, and I think the only way we can do this is X, Y, Z. Why do you have to start by saying, "Wanaume hoye"? All of you there.
I think it's also, there's something once I had when Sonko was campaigning. Someone told me, so I asked them, why doesn't Sonko, he's always in Mukuru. He's not in Buruburu. He will not come to Buruburu. Then someone, do you think, who do you think is the biggest voting bloc? It's the lower class. So they think that the people who vote for them the most and are those people who either they're not quite learned, they're not they then they survive on less than $1 a day, etc. For example, and so they speak their language. They think they're speaking to dumb people.
That's the sad part, because we need to start asking them. Because you see, someone has to explain to me, how did Kileleshwa what? Elect the great nincompoop that he is, Robert Alai.
That's true.
My guy, what is it that he was telling them? That they saw that this is the guy that we want to have over there.
I was on radio during that campaign. I used to be on PAL radio.
Yeah, I know.
I interviewed a few people that were vying for the same seat. One of them was a guy called, I've forgotten his name. He was under the DPAK ticket. A barber, just a normal barber in Kileleshwa. And he was very smart. Agreed, he came to the show. And another guy, I interviewed two. I had put my season finale with Alai. I even spoke to him. I got his number, spoke to him, told him, come. He backed down last minute, and we had planned everything. And that to me already told me, number one, I'll go to the row, maybe because we didn't have maybe the numbers he wanted. Number two, he was scared of the fact that it's a Christian radio show, and maybe he had heard what questions we are asking.
You are asking.
Exactly. Number three, I think beyond the shadow of a doubt, I don't think people really voted for him. I heard what I heard were people were imported from way back. They were imported from the slums and the other areas, and they were paid to register as voters in Kileleshwa to vote him in. Because there's such a huge gap and disconnect between him and the class of people that are living in Kileleshwa.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever. I try to think, in Kileba, as in they saw the only person that supports their ideology, someone who can actually fight, is this good? Someone who cannot even speak properly.
He's already grabbed land from them. He's trying to grab whatever he can because he's afraid. Of course, I don't think Kileleshwa people are crazy enough to bring him back.
Yeah.
I know he's trying to do the most he can with his one term.
Yeah.
Before he has now gone maybe to try it in Busia or Kisumu or wherever he lives.
Wherever he's going to try, he should fail. Because I think what we need to have conversations over when we are, with the boys and with all other people around us is to let them understand we have to, gauge these politicians better. We can't be having people who cannot represent what you are going through.
Yes.
In parliament. What difference does Mr. What is his name? And by no means, Jalango. I know, and we keep saying that we need youth, but we just don't need any youth. Yeah. We need people that are first and foremost have or accept sacrificial leadership, that they have given us a track record. Because before now anyone comes in 2027, the first thing we should be asking, okay, show us. How did you do it before? Where did you give us a sample example of what you've done?
Yeah. We are not employing. We're not going to employ you under the guise of you are going to do for us. And one of the things I was even talking about the other day was saying, why don't we just take it like this? We start from the MCA level. MCA represents a ward. We actually confirm that he or she lives in that ward. His children go to a school within the ward.
Within the ward.
Medical cover will be covered within the ward hospital. If it's a referral, he can go now to the county.
Level 4, level 5, whichever.
So everything happens within the ward scenario. Then we go to the member of parliament. The member of parliament, say from that area that maybe Kiambu or Makadara, lives in Makadara.
Because you need to be part and parcel of.
Yes, his children go to school in Makadara, not outside. The medical cover is covered under the Makadara hospitals and dispensaries, etc., unless it's a referral to a national hospital. Higher. Then we go to the senator and the governor. The governor, his children study in Nairobi, not in UK.
Not in the UK.
Yes.
And not ISK, not in the National School of Kenya. No.
Not ISK. a proper county school. They are studying there. His medical cover is here in Nairobi. He will go to Kenyatta, Mama Lucy, because only then will they make sure that these systems are working, because they are being treated there. They are using the same roads. They are living there. Their children go to the same schools within the different localities, and that is how they are going to improve. And I heard Nani saying that some time back, Fanyamambo Kenodia, which I think is a brilliant guy. This now will help us reshape how we elect people and leaders in this nation.
Now that's the hard part, because I agree with you 100%. We need these leaders to be people who automatically live in the areas that they represent.
Yes.
They control whatever water, see everything from that end, not to live in the lush gardened areas of Karen, when you're representing people in Karachuonyo.
That is true. Because then what happens is, that is why we have
you charge us a mileage to go to Karachuonyo every week.
Every week. And that's why Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that road is usually packed with traffic, because they are going down and coming back. They are going down and coming. How can you live in Karen and you are the Nini of Tangul Bay? You are the of Dangul.
The only thing that you need to do is when you have parliamentary sittings, that's when you come to Nairobi. But all the while, go back to Karachuonyo or wherever you are representing.
But even so, this is the hypocrisy. When we want to do meetings, we do Zoom. Right now, we are having a meeting on two different countries. And that's the funniest thing. So you don't even need to come to Nairobi. What we'll make sure is once a month, that's when we have a seating. You can come and have us and sit physically.
And we will pay you for that one.
We will pay you for that. But then all the other weeks, you are doing it on Zoom.
Yeah.
We do it online. We do it online. So that is money.
But no one wants to save money.
Because it's not you, it's not your money.
Yeah, that's what I realized. When it's not your money that is coming off of your pocket to doing this thing, I think they should have they should be given a cutthroat paycheck, and they are told, hii pesa ni 100 Gs. Ukitaka kuishi Karachuonyo, ama ukitaka kuishi Nairobi, wewe jipange. Hakuna pesa ingine inakam.
Exactly.
Because if we do that, then utaona no one will want to become a member of parliament.
I was even shocked there are those who sent their drivers ndio wapate hiyo mileage. Wewe kimbia Karachuonyo. Mimi sitoki kwa nyumba. Where? So that the car is seen, it has gone, 3 cars have gone, and have come back and they claim they are 100 Gs.
Oh, because they need to be able to, when they're filling out the form, they have to put the mileage. Imesoma kutoka, this is actually kilometers. Tumefanya kutoka hapa mpaka Karachuonyo. But can you see the theft, the wanton?
Exactly, and that's what's causing them. The grassroots influence in some of this region is slowly waning. Kabisa. When you go to the coast, even for ODM, you'll be shocked. Right now, they are buying them. But some coastal leaders have drifted away from that party. In Western, ODM has competition now. We are seeing, we have, what are they called, grassroots elections. We have DPAK, we have Ford Kenya still vying. Nairobi, the influence that has been, it has been so inconsistent because people don't want to spend time with their voters block. They don't.
They've made it as though it's a birthright that and this is the one thing that ODM needs to unravel, because for them, for a long time, they believed because they had Baba that the voter block was their right. And they locked in and they'd say, unajua coast niya ODM, unajua western niya ODM. Now the game has changed.
When he was alive, we had regional kingpins.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't even know what we have.
No, because right now, and if you saw the videos coming off of Mombasa from that ODM thing, celebrating 20 years, because I kept on saying, it's such a beautiful thing that they're celebrating 20 years, but as they celebrate these 20 years, how can they plan for the next 20 if they cannot understand and agree on what they need to, how they need to move? Because in my books, and I stand to be corrected, ODM was and is a party that gets its impetus from the late Right Honorable Raila Omolo Odinga. Without him as the shepherd and the guiding light, My guy. Eh?
Imesambaratika.
There's a lot of problems because on one side there is Sifuna and
Yeah.
Babu Owino.
Yes.
And now Orengo, because you should see Orengo. My guy, he was saying we cannot give our party to the guy in charge currently. Mr.
Yes.
Gedeji himself.
Yes.
First and foremost.
I'm telling you. And why do people want to listen to such? Because let me tell you, for someone like Orengo, when he speaks, people need to open their ears and listen. This is a guy who fought Moi, who was there even from Kenyatta's time as a student leader. You remember?
Yeah.
And he is one of the grandfathers and one of the major backbones of ODM. As much as it was not evolving fast enough, Orengo is someone who opens his mouth, you do what he says.
You listen.
Even Raila would be shaken when Orengo would speak.
Yes, because Orengo has fought for ODM from day one.
Yes.
He was there in the trenches with Raila. So he's not a new guy. And when you hear him speak and the passion that he's speaking with, I feel like as though what he's just about to, he's not telling us is Gedeji is bad. But he's saying it in all other words.
He's the one who should support us. We are not supporting him.
I see.
Yeah. See, also their biggest problem is their messaging is not modernized for young voters on job, on economy, governance, etc. Now that could be the problem. However, the undertone is whatever he's saying, listen. Distance yourself from this other party, because everything that this Gedeji had talked about back in the day, it's slowly happening. It's happening. He had said he was going to take care of huyu mtu atakuwa anaenda Bondo. You heard that story?
Yeah.
Anaenda Bondo. Then ingine Sambarati. His presence there is to make sure that there is no party come 2027.
Exactly. And he's ensured that, and I kept on saying, I remember there's an episode I did and I was telling guys, the fact that Gedeji has taken is always cooing Gladys Wanga. Yeah. He has Ali Hassan Joho. He has Wandai. And he's taken all these people and given them, and these were the seniors in that chama.
Yeah.
Why didn't he go? You want to tell me in ODM there are no better people that he would have chosen? No, he took these guys so that he could be able to finish them from inside. You know, a Trojan horse of sorts. Exactly. Anawaingia tu uko anabomoa kila kitu.
What he's doing, what he did when you check, there's the cream of the crop. We have the Orengos. He did not touch ones. No. He went and took those who are one tier lower. Why? Because then now the rift, these ones who are lower, they feel they're in government, they can speak the way they want about these older ones. And guess what happens? The party fights itself. By the time you realize what's happening, there's no party. They fight amongst themselves. It is a scripted thing.
And you know, we're 2 years away from an election. So this guy knows all I need to do is just put them in constant chaos for the next 1 year. If he's able to do that for the next 1 year, then, you know, coming back is, because I think if there was a time for a united opposition, and in my books, a united opposition is sad because the people that were in the opposition, I don't support most of them. I want, if they could choose Anaumukia Maraga, and they say, Sasa nyinyi, we will coerce around, because Jana was thinking about it, you know, and matters corruption. And I was saying, if you look at matters corruption, if you look at the opposition, current opposition, and the presidency in country, corruption is the rule, not the exception. And so long as corruption is the rule and not the exception, and it becomes so complicit because everyone on both sides are corrupt, who will take who to court? What we need is a Maraga 5 years. We don't even need many years. We just need a Maraga 5. That will be able to whitewash, first of all, reset, proper reset.
Exactly. To regain the image of Kenya that once was, or maybe has never been. I don't know. The thing is, what I realize, these people are very smart. They cannot put you there if they have no kill switch on you. What is the kill switch? The kill switch is you have evaded your taxes. You have evaded taxes.
Mm,
Now we let it pile, we let it pile, we let it pile. Or you have done shoddy dealings, you have taken kickbacks,
mm.
put you in office. Why? Because the day I want to remove you, that is the kill switch.
So are you saying
And carry away. If you
presidency
are
is not
clean,
possible?
it is
Are you
very
saying
possible. I can never say never. It is very
mm,
possible. Amaraga or Mtata, that would be perfect for Kenya. And I
yes?
don't even care which party, like even if they can run as independents, I don't mind, or whatever their parties are.
Yeah.
That is the ideal. But they are going to fight it. Why? Because if we get one person into office that has no kill switch, that is not tainted, that is full of integrity and not corrupt, what they will do, we will start building a case around this person that will form laws that will aid into other elections in the future. And they don't want that because they believe that the more corrupt. Oh, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you know now, if you go back to your home area, mtaani pale,
Mm,
and with your own money you have come,
mm,
you're like, you know what? Let me start repairing this road.
mm,
You go get money and bring the graders and start making the road. Do you know
mm.
that's a good thing for the community?
Yeah,
When you start
true.
cleaning,
Yeah.
you won't even go for an hour without being stopped by the local authorities. They will stop you. They will ask you, why are you doing this? Who has sent you here? Oh, you are doing it by yourself. You cannot do it. Why? Because the guy who is in power wants it to remain like that so that we can use that strategy 2 months to the
To
to
the
the next
election
term. So
to
that
tell
is,
you.
yeah. So they are dependent on the on things not working, and society, everyone just calling for handouts. Nisaidie, nisaidie. That's how bad it is. Imagine. It's like being you're sick and you're in hospital, and one surgeon says, no, we need to operate. Then the other saying, no, 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 no. Who are you? Let's not operate on this person. And it's so bad. It's so bad because that's where we are as a nation.
That's where we are. And for me, it makes me think, are elections still viable in Africa?
Because let's even look down.
Let me preface it for you. Because back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe come all the way
Yeah,
to 90s,
yeah,
people who went to parliament were educated. We looked for the professors, people who could write policy papers and do actual shit about things, my friend. They
yes,
had a track record.
yes.
Now, the kind of person that we're attracting as a member of parliament,
Mm-hmm.
my guy, is no pan. Eh?
True.
But Octupizo number 9.
Yes. I think it's become a place where I don't think when you take a statistic and say out of all people who want to run for any elective office in
Mm,
Kenya in 2027,
mm.
how many, honestly speaking, want to cause change? I'm telling you, we won't even get to 5%. Everyone wants to get their A to cover their
Your
own
own
back.
dealings. Yeah.
Yes, dealing. It's the fastest way to become a millionaire. Every billionaire in Kenya, I think 99, now that's Suluhu number, 97.95% of the billionaires in Kenya are through politics.
Which is so sad.
Yes, it is the fastest way to become a billionaire.
And you become a billionaire, and you're not employing anyone because there's no
Yeah.
industry you're building, there's no kazi you're doing. I wish they were like, what was the name of the guy who used to do all the roads back in the day in the 90s for Moi, the cool chap from Nyeri? He was called Engineer,
The name,
and he had a company.
forget that guy's
And
name.
of course, there was but he used to employ people. You could
Yes,
say that they were rich, yes, but they
yes,
had businesses that they were doing
yes.
locally employed. You show me where this money is they are stealing, they're taking it. Because they're not doing things in Nairobi. None of them are opening places. Young people are still complaining there's no job, there's
I'm
no
telling
work,
you, money is
there's no
not in
business.
circulation. Right now, you are doing stuff like in the industry that I'm in. I'm
Mm.
like, I can stay for 6 months even without being paid.
You
How
tell
do I
me,
survive 6 months?
how do you
This
survive
has never
6 months?
happened. This has never happened. I try my level best, and it can only. The proof of it is the fact that there's no money in circulation. This money is being hoarded, and it's being used right now. People are hoarding so that they can bribe their way in 2027. They are
The
bribed.
money to Dubai to buy apartments.
Yes.
My guy, you can't have someone buy 10 apartments in Dubai. What are they going to do with that money? How is it helping us as Kenyans?
And when you look at it, what are these salaries we're talking about? How long have they been in office?
You
Salaries of
find a
the
guy has been there for 3 years and he has now been able to buy an apartment in Dubai after being in.
So a salaried MP,
Mm,
a gross salary is
mm,
725,502.
okay. So,
700,000.
yeah.
So with 700, let's even multiply it.
Yeah, by 12.
Let's even say they earn a million.
Yeah, we
Senor?
call it a million. So
Yeah.
that's 12 mic a year.
That's 12 mic a year. They've been there for 3 years.
Yes, so 36 mic.
That's 36 million.
Yeah.
You tell me right
Yeah.
now, with 36 million, the best I can do
Is
is
an apartment on Ojiji Road.
exactly 36 million. I can get a house in Kiambu for 20 mic on
Yeah.
an eighth or a quarter.
Or an eighth. Don't say
Yeah.
a quarter because you'll not
And
get a quarter.
on an eighth, yes, and
Yeah.
and it's not furnished.
Mm.
So you tell me, who is this with a salary of 705,000 or maybe a million per month?
Call it a meal.
Can have a revolving income of over of hundreds of millions,
You
and
see,
your own salary has not even gotten there.
that is exactly one thing. I remember I listened to Edwin Sifuna one day at
Yeah,
Mike Check podcast, and he
yeah,
said that he walks around with 100,000 bob a day. And
yeah.
I took offense because these guys didn't chase him further to confirm. 100,000 bob a day.
Yeah.
Eh? If that means you guy, where are you getting this money?
Yes.
Show
So
me this business, because if it's coming from your low practice, show us the taxes that you've paid to
yeah,
confirm that you can work. 100 G's a day is how much?
in fact, it's 3 million per month.
My friend, 3 million per month. 3
So
million multiplied by 12 is how much?
that's
36
million.
36 mil.
And guess what? That 3 million I'm talking about per month, it's more than 3 times his salary.
Where is he getting this money?
Even if you did a legit business that gave you that kind of money, if it is your money, would you be doing that? Would you be working with 100,000 to spend a day? Bro, it is from your blood, sweat, and tears. You can't. You can't. The only time you're able to spend money like that if you have not earned it genuinely.
If you've not earned it genuinely.
Yeah.
So, and that is where lies the problem, because the people that we think are our saviors, the likes of Sifuna, we need to start calling them to, bringing them to the right path, not even the right path, holding them to a greater call, because you cannot be making such aimless statements and we don't hold you accountable. You need to tell us, where are you getting this 100,000 a day that you can put in your pocket, that in case of anything, I have 100 G's I can pay out here. Where are you getting your money?
Did they stop doing lifestyle audits, or they only do them when they're only electing people?
They say they are on the website. If you want them, we should make these things public.
Yes,
Because, I saw Kimani Ishongwa saying he's almost worth $1 billion.
From where? I know his place. There's a place called Kikambura. It's called Mayai. I've been there. I've seen he's doing a phenomenal job there. By the way, he's doing, like, in his area. He will run again and contest with that one, I'm sure. But how can you be worth $1 billion? Where are you getting $1 billion?
Because for me, I want to know how the magic bullet that politics does to make you earn $1 billion shillings. Yeah. So now back to the question. is elections.
Yes.
Are elections still viable
Yes.
for African nations?
You know, when you talk about accountability, before I even tell you whether they are still viable, there's a lady called, she was called Lucy Gishohe. She is an Australian politician. She's an Aussie. You remember her?
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she's from Nyeri. She served as a senator, I think, from between 2017 and 2019 with, it's called Family First Party. Very nice party. But there was a problem. I think one of those days, she decided she wants to bring her mother to Australia from Nyeri. So I think she used funds, funds from the,
The money from the
funds. And let me tell you, only that, just because of that, and she did that to just buy her mother the ticket. Maybe she wanted to come quickly. I don't know.
Whatever the reason.
That cost her seat. She was in court because of. We're talking about how much? A ticket to Australia, like
maybe call it $3,000. We don't even $3,000
just for $3,000. She couldn't. And she had to be in court. She was dragged in the mud. It was bad. It was bad.
But they have integrity.
Yes. Now, fast forward. Come to Kenya now. Bring it home.
Bring it home.
Who can stand the test? Because for us to say that elections, because me, I believe beyond the shadow of a doubt, elections, they are still viable in Africa. If at all we have the right people to elect.
You know, Dunco,
Why you? That's far-fetched. I'm even saying it. Nasikia ukali, I feel it. My mouth is.
You thought that if they are viable, if we have the right people to elect, where are these right people?
If at all we have like peaceful transitions to power. Examples, we look at Ghana. Look at Ghana. I know, Ghana was actually in the dumps.
The completely.
Trenches completely. Kenya 2022, how it was handed over power. That was resolved constitutionally, kabisa. They went to court. Nini Zambia 2021, Senegal 2024. This shows that like democracy, the democratic process can work when the institutions and the civic culture, they work together and they hold firm. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I believe they are still viable. Where do we start?
And do we have to, take a pause? And first of all, like in Kenya, we say, okay, reset kwanza. Because it stands right now.
That's right.
Ama tuombe tu hawa watu ile pesa umeiba tuachie muache tu country
mutoke mwende. They have spawned all over, bro. They have children, they have people, if at all of us would decide, because it's a matter of integrity, let's look at all of them. The only two that stand out are Matata and Maraga and Omtata.
Yeah.
We decide, we have tried corrupt and the individuals, we have tried the dynasties, they are not working.
We've tried hustler, decided.
It's not working. So the same way we tried all those others, for once, let us try these ones. We see.
For once.
Let's just do the exception. Yes, it's just 5 years.
And not the rule. It's just 5 years, my guy. It's 5. It's not many. To come, maybe is this plausible that we can elect, a Maraga, Matata, or Mutata ticket, and we tell them, my guys, find right people to run this government for 5 years. To say, tutaki MPs, to select MPs. We will get professionals. People vote. Because what is the need of going to an election to cast a vote for people that do not have any interest in our country?
They're only serving theirs. They're trying to protect their stolen wealth.
Imagine.
It's democracy at brain, bro.
One final question about politics before we now get into happy things, perhaps.
Yeah.
Benevolent dictator or a democratic leader? Which way should we go?
I will say this. Even biblically, there was a time God allowed Nebuchadnezzar to rule. The same God that allowed David and Saul to rule is the same God that allowed Nebuchadnezzar to rule. We have so many perpetrators, people who need to be brought to book, and a lot of resources that need to be brought back into the country. Me, if you ask me, benevolent dictator.
We just need
I love Maraga and Omtata, but I don't think they have that brutality in them.
Yeah, that's...
They don't have that brutality.
It makes me think.
Brutality, bro. We need to go back from Kenyatta. We start dealing with the injustices from back in the day. From the Nguroni massacre, the Wagala massacre. We start bringing people to book. We start going to offshore and bringing back our money from Switzerland, these bank accounts. But we go back to even up to Uhuru. We ask him, bro, Eurobond, you guys, you squandered it. All this nini. Then we come to Gevenji, where kwanza enda ICC na mama. You all your lives, like someone who will be that brutal, and then from there, hopefully it will. It's like the guy from Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
Traore. We need someone who will. Right now, now they are going now to which angle they are going to take to remove him. The West, that is anti-gay.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That is what they're going to use. They've searched for everything else they have seen, they can't. But he has refused some.
He has refused for human rights, for same-sex marriages. Who cares?
They will lose. Who cares? We need someone like that.
But where do we get that guy in Kenya? Where? Because the person I would have thought would be a Matiang'i, but his hands are not clean.
I don't know why I look.
Matiang'i, his puppet masters is Uhuru. Exactly. He will not go after Uhuru. And if you can't go after Uhuru, then it makes any sense. Because we need to a gap stop. That one that will say, hey, my friend, tumeiba ya kutosha. As in, tupatie breather for 5 years. We flourish. Our businesses make sense. We return back to favor. Hata Mungu wako anapanish watu for 20 years, bwana. Alikuwa anawapatia kachance wana recover. True. Space. Because what Kenya is asking for is some breathing space.
That's right.
Givenchy, do you know, I saw Givenchy is touted to own CDN Bank. So?
Yes.
CDN Bank has been in existence for a while, but never used to make huge profits. You know, last year's profits were how many?
Yeah?
Last 1 year's profit, or how much they broke.
Last year,
they got to 1 billion in profits.
Because everything is running through them right now. You see, even the Nairobi County, they have diverted. They've lost. They've ditched Coop Bank to.
As in, so you're destroying a national bank, cooperative bank, which has been there for all these years.
Yeah.
So you're stealing from the government to give it to a private guy. I see, and no one is talking about it, and no one is making noise over it. You guys, you must be joking, my guys. We need to seriously rethink what is happening, because if we don't have a country.
True. We don't have a country.
Now, to lighter things. Now, this is No Shave November.
No Shave November.
I saw something that was very shocking. Why is it that there are no chaps, no young men in clubs, in events? Why is it that it become...
they're not pushing.
Why is it?
Funny enough, not being pushed by even influencers. I think they think of it as such a Western kind of thing, because it started in the early 2000s in the US. It was called November. I think they look at it as. But what we should be doing is have the spin-offs of them that are actually more local, so that people can. But of course, we know what's happening to this country. Whatever a man says, it's never taken seriously. How many men's day do we have in a year, and how many women's day do they have? Yeah. So I think they're not rallying it enough.
Mhm.
Because I also remember when I was in radio, we never used to really push it. But everything else, breast cancer awareness, it's given such a
Because it's feminine. It's one of those very icky conversations because
yeah.
does it allow for, and maybe we'll discuss it on the next episode
Mm,
because we will be doing this a little more frequently. We will
yeah.
discuss this and go deep and find out what's happening between the boy child and the
Right.
girl child.
Right.
Have the roles reversed? Have they become, are they on the same page, or has the split now from being pro boys? Has it all of a sudden gone pro girls? What is
Yeah.
actually happening in the society? And
Mm,
are these things that we can learn perhaps? Because if I look at No Shave November, no one is talking about it. As in, if you go to a bar nowadays, there are very few men, and men are not even interested in the gardens. It's something is among somewhere is something is going, and we need to be able to find it.
we
But
need to.
thank you very much for having joined us today, and we hope to be doing this a little more often.
Yeah.
Karibu sana, and yeah, and we can make this into the Danco and DY's roundtable talk.